There are growing concerns that perhaps he is back to abusing drugs in some way.
I mean, this guy seems to have had more drugs inside him than you could get in a chemist shop. I find it very hard to believe.
It was the headline that rocked both sides of the Atlantic. Prince Harry now facing allegations of drug use, sending shockwaves through royal circles and tabloids alike. But what caught insiders off guard wasn't just the scandal itself. It was Meghan Markle's reaction. Behind palace doors, reports say Meghan is fuming, accusing royal insiders of leaking the allegations to smear her husband's already fragile reputation further. And the timing couldn't be worse. Just as Meghan attempts to revive her crumbling brand, this latest scandal has reignited old tensions with the royal family. Imagine this. Just a couple of years ago, Meghan and Harry were riding high. Global fame, million-dollar deals, a seemingly endless wave of public sympathy. But fast forward to today, it's all unraveling, faster than anyone expected. Meghan's latest brand launch is being openly mocked, Harry looks a shadow of his former self, and behind palace walls, the royal family is reportedly in panic mode. Rumors of spiraling finances, strained relationships, and even personal struggles are swirling louder than ever. So what really happened? How did one of the world's most famous couples fall this far? Let's dive in, because the cracks are showing and the story behind them is more shocking than you think.
We spent so much time making sure we had so much more inventory. That's why we took the time, and you guys are doing it again. We're nearly sold out on everything.
It was supposed to be Meghan's big moment. The long-awaited launch of her new lifestyle brand, American Duchess, promised to redefine luxury. Or, at least, that was the pitch. The reality? Something very different. The product drop, featuring pastel-hued fruit spreads, floral sprinkle jars, and a new rosé, felt less like a polished empire in the making, and more like a last-ditch attempt to stay relevant. Even loyal fans couldn't ignore the red flags. The website claimed products sold out in minutes, but shoppers watching the live launch noticed items were marked sold out the instant the store opened, with no actual purchase activity, a manufactured scarcity tactic that fooled no one. Then came the harshest blow. Industry experts openly ridiculing the brand. One renowned jam maker even slammed Meghan's fruit spread as the kind of thing you label when your jam fails. Ouch. What was meant to be a high-profile comeback quickly became a cautionary tale in how not to build a brand. But that was only the beginning.
In the video, she looks almost on the verge of tears, and you say she deliberately avoids looking directly at the camera.
As the dust settled from the failed launch, one question echoed louder than the rest. What exactly is Meghan's brand? Because beyond the pretty jars and pastel filters, there was no real story, no authentic voice. The so-called floral sprinkle jars seemed like random dried petals in a container, offering no clear purpose or value. The entire aesthetic, whimsical fonts, Pinterest vibes, felt dated and out of touch. Worse yet, fans began to notice something deeper. Meghan, once celebrated for her polished image and savvy media presence, now appeared lost in her own brand. Was she trying to be a duchess, a wellness mogul, a disruptor, an influencer? None of it seemed to fit anymore. Each product drop and public statement only added to the confusion. Without a clear direction, the brand wasn't just floundering, it was unraveling. And while Meghan scrambled for relevance, things on Harry's side were taking an even darker turn. Not long ago, Meghan had the media eating out of the palm of her hand. Every interview, every appearance, every carefully curated post would spark headlines and glowing praise. But now, the tone has shifted. Outlets that once championed her every move, like Vogue, Vanity Fair, and even the New York Times, have started pulling back. Major publications are openly questioning her motives. Influential columnists who once defended her are now skeptical. Even Hollywood circles seem quieter, with once friendly celebrity allies noticeably absent from her latest brand promotions. On social media, the change is just as stark. Hashtags that once trended globally, Team Meghan, Duchess goals, are losing momentum. Reddit threads dissect her missteps with growing cynicism. Even loyal members of the Sussex squad, once loud and proud, have gone quiet, some frustrated, others simply fatigued. Why? Because the story is tired. the public is no longer buying into the same old narrative of victimhood and reinvention. The brand feels disconnected, out of touch with the very audience it once captivated. Each new product launch or public statement is met with more eye rolls than applause. Instead of leading the conversation, Meghan is now reacting to it, scrambling to reclaim a relevance that's clearly slipping away. And while Meghan battles headlines and hashtags, her husband's struggles are becoming impossible to ignore.
Lightness you're describing, Harry, is called being high. It brings new meaning to your highness. Exactly. I think that this is a dangerous
That's his
conversation.
new nickname, your highness.
While Meghan wrestles with a faltering brand, Harry's situation looks even more troubling. Once the cheeky, relatable prince with a spark in his eye, Harry now appears hollowed out. Public appearances that once seemed effortless are now marked by a flat, robotic delivery. Gone is the natural charm, replaced with vacant expressions, sluggish posture, and a heavy, distracted presence. Observers close to the royal scene have begun sounding alarms. Longtime commentators like Richard Eden and Angela Levin have suggested that something is clearly off. The speculation that Harry may be slipping back into old habits he's openly spoken about: drinking, drug use, and other coping mechanisms that once haunted him. Recent public moments have only deepened concern. At a charity polo match earlier this year, Harry's speech seemed disjointed and low energy, with awkward pauses and a lack of the usual warmth. In photos from a London dinner event last month, his glazed expression and distracted gaze sent social media into a frenzy. Reddit threads dissected every angle, with fans commenting that he looked like a man lost. And let's not forget, Harry himself has been candid about his past. In both his memoir and the Oprah interview, he described turning to substances to numb emotional pain after losing his mother and struggling with life in the royal spotlight. He admitted that, at times, he simply didn't want to feel anything at all. It's not the polished face of a thriving public figure, it's a portrait of someone drifting, trapped between past traumas and a present that's rapidly unraveling. And behind closed doors, the royal family is reportedly more concerned than ever. Within the walls of Buckingham Palace, the mood has reportedly shifted from frustration to genuine worry. For all the public drama of recent years, those close to King Charles say his deepest concern right now isn't about the headlines. It's about his son. Insiders claim the king is watching Harry's slow unraveling with mounting alarm. But here's the catch: Charles is also exhausted. After years of navigating scandals and attempting to protect Harry from the worst of the fallout, he's drawing firmer boundaries. The message? You've made your choices. Now you need to face the consequences. It's not coldness, insiders insist. It's a father's frustration after years of bailing out his wayward son. The family's focus has reportedly shifted toward damage control, but not in the PR sense. Behind the scenes, it's more about Harry's well-being than reputation. And as each new public misstep adds to the growing sense of crisis, the question becomes harder to ignore. How much worse could this get? Adding even more tension to the mix? The money. Despite Harry and Meghan's very public claim that they were cut off financially, whispers behind palace walls suggest otherwise. Multiple royal sources have hinted that King Charles may still be quietly supporting the Sussexes through private funds or undisclosed trust arrangements. If true, it's a last-ditch lifeline meant to keep them afloat as their California dream crumbles. But even that support may be running on borrowed time. Charles faces pressure from the crown, from the public, and from his own advisors to stop bankrolling a couple who continue to damage the monarchy's reputation. With taxpayer scrutiny on royal finances at an all-time high, continuing to funnel private money toward Harry and Meghan risks even more backlash. And with Meghan's business floundering, Harry's image in freefall, and rumors swirling that their Netflix and Spotify deals may not be as lucrative as once believed, one thing is certain: their financial future looks anything but secure. Amid the crumbling relationships and rising tensions, one royal figure remains an intriguing question mark: Princess Eugenie. For months, she's been seen as the last member of the royal inner circle still on speaking terms with Harry and Meghan. Many assumed she had quietly distanced herself after recent controversies. But a recent appearance at Royal Ascot, where she was spotted alongside Misha Nonu, one of Meghan's closest friends, has reignited speculation. Is Eugenie still acting as a link between the Sussexes and the royal family? Some tabloid rumors have even labeled her a double agent, keeping tabs for Meghan. But palace insiders paint a more nuanced picture. Eugenie has always walked a fine line, loyal to her family, but sympathetic toward her cousin. It's entirely possible she's simply trying to navigate an impossible situation in a family that's been torn down the middle. More importantly, Eugenie's quiet role could carry real consequences. Her ongoing friendship with Meghan, whether public or private, risks drawing her deeper into the Sussex drama. Some royal watchers have already speculated that continued closeness could damage her own standing with senior royals. Yet at the same time, her neutrality offers a rare glimmer of hope, a fragile thread of connection that could one day help rebuild trust between the fractured factions of the family. In a world where everyone seems to be picking sides, Eugenie's quiet diplomacy speaks volumes. But whether that position is sustainable, that remains to be seen. Step back from the headlines and the pattern becomes hard to miss. This isn't just a couple facing a bad PR week, it's a household in free fall. Meghan's brand, once hyped as the next great lifestyle empire, is floundering, confused, inconsistent, and out of touch with its audience. The once loyal fanbase is shrinking, the media narrative has turned cold, and industry professionals openly question her credibility. Meanwhile, Harry's personal struggles are spilling into public view. The confident, relatable prince who once charmed the world now looks lost, both professionally and personally. His public appearances are flat, his energy is gone, and speculation about deeper issues is growing louder by the day. Together, their story now feels less like a fairy tale and more like a cautionary tale of fame, ambition, and missed opportunities. The titles and nostalgia that once insulated them can only do so much. The cracks are visible, the brand is confused, the family is fractured. And the world? It's watching it all unfold in real time, with less sympathy by the day. At this point, one thing is clear. If Meghan and Harry hope to stage any kind of comeback, it won't be through another fruit spread launch or curated Instagram post. The public has moved beyond the hype, and sympathy is wearing thin. What they need now isn't more branding. It's a complete reset. Honesty, humility, a strategy grounded in something real, not just titles and nostalgia. Because the cracks aren't just showing, they're widening. The brand is adrift, the household is under strain, and the royal family, watching closely, torn between concern and exhaustion. Whether this marks the beginning of a true collapse or the spark that forces a long overdue course correction, that remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the world will be watching every step of the way. So, what do you think? Are Meghan and Harry heading for a major comeback or an even bigger collapse? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more on this unfolding royal drama.